children too. Montserrat, how the Caribbean used to be. Was that when the Queen picture was revered and people equate HRH with immorality? How the Caribbean used to be. Made my ancestors illiterate. Those who don't know their history are bound to repeat it. Montserrat, the way the Caribbean used to be. So how is the Caribbean now? And where is everybody else now? When the volcano let off, where did we run to? Everywhere. Where the Caribbean was not to be. Montserrat, the way the Caribbean used to be. Was this the time before airport and seaport, electric light and pipe water, before schooling was an opportunity for all, with people like you in power? I see why you want Montserrat the way the Caribbean used to be. Can't teach an old dog new tricks. Bless up.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is Eze Bongo. Welcome to Stratian Voices Bongo. What's going on here?
Everything is nice. I'm blessed, man. Just taking in some poetry from my book, Fabrirucos and things like that, you know? Sharing it with you and everybody else.
Nice. We'll get back to Fabrirucos a little bit later.
See it.
We're chilling right now, we're listening to ZJB and, you know, reminiscing a little bit about Montserrat. You grew up in Trials. Tell me a little bit about Trials.
Well, Trials is an epicenter, you know, because for me it's like my Mecca, because I'm close to the sea, close to town, close to the mountain, and right there all the action be, you know? Because everybody will have to go a chance to speak. If them are driving, them have to pass in front of my door. You know what I mean? So right, it's just like, it's a different thing. Plus, my grandfather had one of the biggest piece of land right at the foot of Chances Peak Mountain. So
up in the projects.
Up in the projects mountain up there. We call up them more Top Hill.
Right.
And things like that, you know? So up there and projects, and then you come down to Trials, Top Trials, Low Trials, and then Kinsey, you know?
But, you know, I mean, growing up as a kid, you were into everything. You played a little bit of music, you swam, you ran, you all about the bush and something.
Yeah.
I mean, looking back at that today, would you change that experience for anything?
Oh, hell no, man. You kidding? You know, it's just like, right now, to even look at my children growing up in America and see how caged that they are with no experience of maturity, of self-reliance, or not like that. It kind of burned my heart still that everything that they know is what they were taught and not what they experienced through life, you know? And things. So that man, me happy me grow up in a Montserrat, me happy me grow up in a Trials, because it helped me to be a better person, you know? I tell you, man, the other day, I was thinking, like, when I went to secondary school and I passed back through a little shortcut where I used to play with my grandmother, they used to bake bread in the stone oven and thing. And I see the amount of big stone under the mango tree and the plum tree. And to know that I was up in there swinging from branch to branch, you know, I'm going to say, yo, if me ever they drop them out of the tree, then we don't keep me no mash up, you know what I mean?
We took a lot of risks, but it's not something you thought about at the time.
No.
You're living life.
It's just risk. It's like you come America, you come some places, and a swimming pool, they got lifeguard. You know what I mean? You come from school and you look up there, you just say, yo, my hat. School clothes and everything, you just gone in the water and just start swim out and go touch buoy, Marcy Bank, and come back in the land and just take up the school bag and walk home, you know?
We had a little debate going the other day, a mango debate on my Montserrat. We were talking about you know, your favorite type of mango. I mean,
listen, before you even go any further, a Peter Kidney mango around things, you know, we don't care about nothing else, you know.
Well, you know, that's true, but you know, actually the Hairy mango got a lot of votes. People like Hairy, especially when he quail long.
Yeah, when he shrimp up.
You know, not like a Peter Kidney.
Not like a Peter Kidney, man. My mother used to try to hide it under the bed from me, you know, king, but that smell is distinctive, man. You know what I mean? You have to hide it, man.
Well, you had so many fruits growing up in Trials, though. Tell me about some of them. I mean, we had a dump tree in your yard.
Yeah, well, we had a dump tree that actually came from Antigua. We probably had the first dump tree in a Montserrat.
But that's the only one I knew about, I mean, up Trials.
Well, he had another one down by Catherine, by Erling and them down there, but it was more in the bushes and things like that, so you never really see it, you know?
Okay.
But the one in my yard definitely was one of the first dumpster in Montserrat, I think. And to me, it's a mystical fruit because everybody eat them at different times. More like the brown kind, you know, the one where them mismatch and things like that. But growing up with a dumpster in the yard, you get a lot of privilege and things like that. Because everybody come from school, they want to see these dumps, they want to know what the dumps taste like and things like that, you know. So it was pretty much fun growing up with them in the yard and things like that.
And so what else you got? You had sugar apple, you had
Well, yeah, if you want to talk about fruit, you know, you got sugar apple, mango, you got tamarind, you got coconut, you got what? Mansiport. Once you broke trials, you got, even right now, Miss Mimba, you got cigarette. And thing, once you climb the cigarette tree and you can walk across the road to go, because yo, I'm surprised that nobody in a Montserrat actually make a liquor out of cigarettes and them kind of things. You know, coconut rum and you have this and thing.
Right.
But trickle grape too. You know what I mean? What they call, I know it has trickle grape, but they have another grape for it, man. They have another name for it.
chimney?
Huh?
Chimney grape or something?
Chimney grape, yeah man. They mash you up, man. And then you got, we had spice guava, we had tangerine, we had orange tree in the yard, we had dumb tree, we have half plum,
yes,
golden apple.
Right.
We just like, yo, we got kinip. Oh, we can't forget kinip. We got a different variation of kinip. Some kinip tree and them. Soon as you watch them, you mouth just spring water and you know, yo, don't even touch that tree because you'll get mashed up, man. Your job won't soar up, you know?
Yeah. So Montserrat, I mean, it's paradise by all.
Yes, Montserrat is what money can't buy.
Right.
You know, and it's now that I'm a man that me realize the kind of education that I've got, because it's like my parents, them used to ask me, what you gonna do with your life? You know what I mean? And now that I understand the question, we realize like a lot of people can make millions of dollars, but it does not mean that they did something with their life.
Right.
You know what I mean? You could make money, yeah, everybody can make money, but what people want to do with their life that will leave a lasting impression on the world and people, you know?
Right.
So it's that I'm coming to fulfillment of what I want to do in my life right now, you know?
Okay. So you were just reading a passage from your Fabulous. Tell me a little bit about that. We covered that last time, but you know, for the fans who might not have seen the last time we got together.
Well, this book actually my 5th grade teacher got it misshot, virtual shot, got in touch with me and said that she heard that I write a lot of poems and things like that, and she really wanted to get some of the poems. So as I came to you, because I had the Montserrat, I had bongowarrior.com before, and people like it, so everybody wanted a collection in hard copy. There's a dining room table and thing, like a booklet.
Right.
So she contacted me. I sent her the poems, and she edited them and sent them back to me. And one day I was at work playing some music that I composed and produced, and I was working for some professors at Rutgers, and they said, wow, we like the music, it's very intellectual and things like that. And I said, yeah, I'm a poet and I write too. So they tell me, well, bring over some of your work, let's see what we can do with it.
Right.
And then I brought over the work and they saw it and they were so intrigued by it. They said, yo, we have to do a book on this, you know? And it's just like, I got the poems from Miss Shot, took it to the professors, and they got like a collaboration of students to actually work on it from Rutgers University. And then I just paid the money and everything like that to get it printed and published and everything, rights and stuff like that, you know?
Right. So, I mean, it's available online, it's on Amazon.
Yes, it is. Amazon.com, is on bongowarrior.com, and
right.
I don't know if my Montserrat carried it yet. But
okay, well, I want that copy you have in your hand, because sign it for us, and we're gonna try to, you know, raffle it off for the party.
Yes, I will definitely put a signature lick on it, man.
Okay.
And nice it up, you know.
Well, Bongo, in addition to being an author, you're a self-made man. You run your own construction company. Now, one of the things that fascinated us was you started lately doing some coconut craft. Tell me about that.
Well, here is the thing, though. I was home watching a movie with some Indonesian fighters and things like that. Can't really remember the name of the movie. And I saw the people and them like more living in a setting like what I was living in Montserrat in the mountains and so. When people eat out the coconut and cook out the yaba pot, clay pot. And the organic lifestyle, you don't want nothing from the white man and things like that, you know what I mean? So it's more like a cultural thing. If Montserrat now produce it, I will not use it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
the Rastaman philosophy that.
yeah, yes, you know what I mean? And it dawned upon me like, yo, me can make them things there, you know? And then I had a whole bunch of tools in the basement and things like that. I'm gonna say, yo, man, I've used grass bottle no more for scrape off no coconut shell. On a whole knife, me just get a belt sander and everything finished, come with a jigsaw cut off the top and done with that, you know? So it just kind of propelled me back to my youth.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, I went into that and it opened up other doors to other things, and then I started getting addicted to it. And it opened up the woodworking philosophy.
Right.
And then in the same time as doing that, like going in the bushes, taking up old tree trunks, coming in the yard and cut them down, I realized like, wow, the yard I get too small for this, you know, we need a bigger enterprise now, a bigger workshop.
Right.
And my partner and them say, yo, he got one old house up in the mountains where nobody wanted the house, been vacant for 20 years.
We talk about upstate New York.
Upstate New York. So it's just like, yo, if you want it, just give me some money and take it.
Right.
I went up there, the house had no roof, it was rotting from the roof straight down to the basement. And I said, wow, I'm looking at like 3.5 acres of land. I say, yo, this is what I want all my life. It put me right back in the trials all within itself, you know?
It's a circle.
It's a circle, you know what I mean? And it's just like, if I was not trained for this life, excuse me, I would not be able to accept it. You know, because when I see my grandfather, I chop bush and all them things there, me cut those hangers, ban up and things like that, and I chop bush too. So Mexican brother want to charge me $3,000 to go chop bush. And I'm watching like them crazy, like, wow. You think because me run business and this like that, me write book, I'm an author, I can't go chop one bush in my backyard? You must mad, you know what I mean? So it's just like, me and my son, we put on a new roof, we wire the house, insulate, do everything from my ideas and things like that, and just bring it to where it's livable now. Right now, I'm ready to take back the coconut and the woodworking thing to a whole different aspect right now, you know?
You know, I mean, you do it all. I mean, from terms of you build, you run your own wire, you do your own electricity, you do your own plumbing.
Yeah.
You're a general handyman.
General. What is it? Master of all trades, jack of all trades, master. No, I think I'm master of you.
Right. So the coconut thing fascinates me because, you know, growing up on Montserrat, you remember something that Rastaman specialized in that. Do you remember Natty had this little boat in a wapping, and Natty used to do wonderful things with wood and coconut. You remember
wonderful
that,
thing. And they had another Dominican brother from Kinsale, below the Methodist church right there, that used to make earrings and brooches and all of that stuff.
So talk me to the process a little bit, because you go to the store, you get a dry nut.
Right.
Where you go from it?
Well, it is all a selective thing, because it's not like back in Montserrat where you know the coconut tree and you know it's like a French coconut, or you know it's a Banton coconut or a Isle coconut or what's, because coconut have a lot of variations to it, you know what I mean? The French coconut and them are the big coconut, and then when you drink one you have to see half later, you know? Yeah. So going to the store and things like that, you have to check the coconut them, shake them, see what crack from what not cracking and thing. And then pretty much you just, I wish I had a coconut here to give you a demonstration, but you have to scrape off the outer husk.
Right.
Until it comes down to a shiny, hard black part. Then, depending on if you're making a cup or you're making a bowl, you have to cut the top of the coconut and clean out the jelly, the hard jelly way inside, because you don't really want it to stop in there, spoil, and give the coconut scent. Because if the coconut spoil, you can't get that scent out with nothing, you know? I think so. You have to get it out, then scrape out the coconut on the inside, so you could get off the leftover from the back of the coconut where the jelly and the coconut itself attached, you know. Then after you've done that, you have to sand the inside and clean it down, sand the outside, preferably with a 220 grit sandpaper, so that you get that sheen, you know. Then if it's an organic setting, you really don't want to put no finish on it. Like what I do, I make coconut oil from the coconut itself and wipe it down and give it a nice finish on the outside, you know. I think so. It's all organic within itself, you know. I think so. It's a process that one day you have to come get the camera and come
we will come and document.
And just document so that we can teach the next generation, like, yo, you don't have to go and buy no big this and no whole heap of expensive this to have something nice.
Nice, you know,
because everybody come there and start feel up my products and them like, wow, this is unique, this is nice. I'm just like, yo, I know my backyard, me make them, you know, me not go away. I want me make, nobody can buy it, you know.
So you plan to make a business already? Because I know people have asked me, boy, you know, what is he doing? Is he going to sell some of that? We like this, we like that. What's going on?
Well, yes, I am going to make a business out of it, because right now it's pretty much the prototype. I know that I have a garage I could turn into a woodwork shop and things like that. I already start stockpiling enough coconut shell, enough wood and things like that, because I also want to make a line of furniture and sell some vegetables and so, because I have a vegetable garden. So it will be more like a country living from a Montserrat perspective. Right. Because I want to make jams and jelly and things like that, like we used to do back in Montserrat, and coal pot and them kind of things, you know, because everywhere you go, you see Jamaican restaurant or Jamaican this or Jamaican that and things like that. And a Montserrat I come from, I'm very passionate about my heritage and where I come from and things like that, you know. So I figure like, yo, I want to go on with that. My great grandmother is 106 years old when she died, and she taught me enough things, you know, that me can survive without a school or college education, you know what I mean? Because she was alive before running water, street light, before road get paved, before Montserrat had a port and things like that. She was alive, living in Montserrat and surviving. Right. And making flour out of breadfruit and corn and all that thing, grinding them down. And to actually hear Montserrat people talk about Montserrat hard, it just really burned me to an extent like, yo, I really know what hard really is, man. You know, it's just like you have everything there at your fingertips.
Just another day.
Fabi Ruckus, you have plans to make to do a follow-up to that?
Yes, well, actually, if you look inside the book, you know, you have this one is more like the lighter version, the more kid-friendly and stuff version, because you know, me and mom, me chat a lot of bad word, because I get passionate at time, and as a Montserratian, let me say that again, as a Montserratian, it's part of our culture, it's part of our dialect to talk hard to adults. You know what I mean? Because then a berry picnic with big nigga, as I will say. So man to man, when we talk like, yo, are we big people.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And
the language is very colorful.
I saw me born and I saw me raised. You know what I mean? And when a man talk to you once, he might talk to you so that he don't have to speak to you again.
So you have a heavier version coming?
Yes, I do have a heavier version, and it is volume number 2, the transition of when I just come to America. I may have to unlearn majority of what I learned in Montserrat to actually survive in America. But it is a sense where when I say unlearn, you know, mean like what I learned in the village, I mean like what I learned in a school and things like that. Like, for instance, why I stopped eating meat and all of this stuff, you know what I mean? Because when I come to America, I'm going to start compare people to chicken, to lamb, to different animals that I grow up around. And I saw the similarities of you are what you eat. You know what I mean? I'm going to say, yo, I saw them people y'all live. Because back in the Montserrat, you put on the TV and you see people that live in America, you see pigeon a fly and you say, what? When we reach America, we want to eat some of them pigeon, you know? And then when you finally reach America and you see the dirty pigeon and them rasta, it's just like, yo, you eat any of them pigeons and then penicillin could help in the hospital right now to go get your back together. The pigeon and them far different. And then coming to America itself and actually having the opportunity to work on movie sets and around movie stars and things like that, you realize like it is not what it is that them portray to us back home. Right. Because everybody is an extra. You know, everybody get paid to play a part. Even if it's in a movie and you see somebody walking down the street, they actually get paid $150 a day just to walk down the street in the movie. You know what I mean? You just can't come off the road and say, I'm in a movie. You know what I mean? So you realize like everything that they show outside. Because when I come to America first, I get up and live, you know, in the projects, in a New York City projects king, where you fight for open the door and the door not open. And when you finally kick the door, you see a dead body out there slouch up against the door and you have to go work 4 o'clock in the morning and you say, oh, somebody else call the police for that king. Although it's your friend, you don't know where, yo, him done dead already, you know what. You can't go tell the police when you know who kill him or this. You just gotta keep your mouth shut and go about your business, you know?
Yeah.
And this is the real American thing that me come and me see and me say, yo, like, listen, me come, you know, in America, here in America, I put my clothes in the washing machine and in the dryer and leave, go upstairs and come back down and the washing machine and the dryer empty. Somebody don't thief my clothes. And in a month I got clothes my line for days, you know, king. And nobody thief me shut on my pants and nothing, king. Yeah, man, I thief me underpants and my dirty shoes, them, king. And I say, yo, what kind of America this here be, king? You know what I mean? It's completely different to what they show in your Montserrat, man. You know?
Reality check.
Really, yeah. It was one of them that I'm happy that I cashed in on, man, you know, because it really propelled me to a different level right now, you know, right. For real.
And that's where your upbringing in Montserrat kicks in, because you know that this is not what you're accustomed to eating. Life can be different.
Man, let me show you this, king. When I come to Montserrat, I eat a whole family pack of Kentucky fried chicken by myself with 12 biscuits and the whole line of work by myself. And my uncle say, yo, you get fat. I said, no, mom, it's a hard working mom. I can burn off this, you know what I mean? But then after me see, like, yo, this is not my style, you know. I have McDonald's burger, I like 4 burgers I have to eat, fulfill something in my belly and king like that. I realize, like, yo, at $10 for eat 2 burgers. I'm go to the store and buy some rice and some peas and I cook it up and things like that. Yeah, it's more nourishing.
And you get back change $10?
I'm going to get back change $10, king. You know what I mean? $1.50 for a pack of peas, king. I can just put some peas and some pepper and some rice now and pot and that serve me for 2 days, king. And more protein and vitamins than what I go to McDonald's going to eat. Then plastic food, king. You know what I mean? And I realize like, yo, I do construction for a living. I know that my work grown. I'm lied over and my body feel cramp up and mash up, king. I have to go back to the food that my great grandmother used to cook for actually free up my body.
Run, run, the dire, run, 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 run.
is just so that we boil it down, Rasta, and we just see life for what it is. Because I say like, yo, how my great-grandmother could reach 106 and she not go to school, she can't read or write. And I come out here and I see some people, young, millionaire, got all kind of accolades from school and work and things like that. And them can't live happy. By the time they reach 45, then dead or ball or something like that, Rasta. I say like, yo, my grandmother out there work grown at her own leisure and her own pace. And she not complain about nothing, no stress, no dehydration, no exhaustion, no nothing, Rasta.
At different times.
You know what I mean? I know, for instance, I see a little Rihanna up on stage, I wind up and down, and every minute she broke down like one year. You know, it's just like, yo, them people that can't go nowhere too far, you know? You know what I mean? And then you realize, like, yo, you have to distinguish between money and spirituality. You know, like, money can't go so far. But if you don't have nothing within yourself, you say, well, yo, nobody can pay me nothing for this, I know, I have to do it for myself first time.
Right.
Just set up what I deal with, and who don't like it, them not gonna like it, but that's their business that. Once me happy, me happy.
So how soon can we expect a follow-up to
Fabiruko, well, right now, it might be next year, or maybe this December.
Right.
But it all depends on me as a man I work by spirit. You know what I mean? So it's just like when the bug or when the zombie bite me, we just decide, yo, I'm gonna jump up and just do this. It's not something that we really plan, because we say when man plan, God wipe out. You know what I mean?
Right.
So God will just appoint the right time and place for it to go down. But we can't guarantee that will happen because it's already in the works, you know? And thing. So probably between this year and next year we have the other copy out.
Okay, sound good. So you still play music? You still playing?
Yeah, I was just on my guitar up to this morning, man. And at this point in time now, I'm getting more comfortable as a composer with understanding and reading and writing music and things like that, you know? Because music is something that comes through with life experience. And the longer that you live, is the more that you appreciate music and a whole in itself. When you can't dance and wind up and walk up no more, and you sit down and the beast inside want a soothing Rasta, and you just take up your guitar and you just play. Right. Even if it's 3 little chords, but you feel content within yourself, like, yo, you're making a joyful noise unto the Lord. You know, I mean, no Christian music, you know what I mean?
So what kind of guitar you play?
When I play acoustic, bass, rhythm guitar, drum, but between what I like, I'm more like the rhythm guitar, because on the rhythm guitar I can play both the bass line and the rhythm section more than I can do on the bass itself, because the strings are bigger. And on the rhythm guitar, because the strings are closer, you get more articulate with the bass because the strings are wider than on the guitar itself, you know?
Okay.
So I will play the bass line then on the guitar, and then when we reach the stage and we pick up the real bass guitar now, it's just like, wow, it's just a big difference, you know?
Where can we find you online? I mean, are you on Facebook?
Yeah, well, I'm on Facebook at Eze Bongo, or on my Montserrat or Montserrat Culture, and my website, of course, bongowarrior.com.
Right. Okay, Bongo, it was nice talking to you again.
No, it's a pleasure, you know, it's our roots and culture.
Read us a poem to take us home.
Well, right now, everything is just blessed and comfortable. And what should I read? No bust, no lime. My grandfather always remind me that the lime is good for cold and for cough. It is a source of vitamin C. I don't know if you know what for cold and for cough mean, but anyway, if you have never seen a lime tree, you will never understand its meaning and the significance. That I used to say, no bust, no lime. Lime juice cut nature. I have seen the lime tree grow. The lime tree has a rich dark green color. When the leaves are open, they turn a beautiful yellow. It is a tree that animals seldom eat. I have never seen my goats or sheep eating a lime. The lime tree has parasites that are black, white, and yellow. Sometimes parts of the lime tree turn black. Even when it produces lime, they are too black. If you rub yourself with the lime and come out in the night, you can get a stroke. Many people in Montserrat may have gotten strokes because of how they use Berum. It is an alcohol rub made from limes. You also have to be careful how you peel limes. The lime can burn your eyes and cause much irritation. Now that I am older and wiser, I know that I have to be careful which lime I bust. I live in America and the limelight is always in front of me. I know what I must do. Don't sit in limbo waiting to lime. Bust a lime can lead to crime in time. As for the limelight, stay out of sight. Coats are hard to fight from the damn parasites. Dada say, lime is good for cold and for cough. No bust no line. The acid make a man flaccid. These sayings have true meaning. No bust no line.
Ladies and gentlemen, Eze Bongo, Fabulous.
One love, I
This is Montserrat culture, we'll be proud of it forever.
This is Montserrat culture, we'll be